Hello and welcome to your English version of the Liverpool Redmen TV Daily News. I'm sure you've all seen Chris and Paul's from the... where were they today? They were having breakfast on Venice Beach, were they? But yeah, I'm still in the studio on my own with Tom, who's just let one go, and it is rank. So if I die halfway through the video, that is the explanation for that. So we've got 3 bits of news today. We are going to talk about Flanagan. We're going to talk about Allan, Rodrigues, Souza, and we're also going to talk about Sakho. So firstly, Flanagan, Burnley actually tweeted it out, which is quite strange because they tweeted out the fact that he is having a medical. Not they've signed him, not he's passed the medical, just he's having a medical today. Must have been a slow news day in Burnley. Also gives you an indication of actually Jon Flanagan on loan for a season for the newly promoted club. It's a big deal for them. You know, he's a good player. They'll be remembering, you know, as we often refer to, the season that almost was, where he played really, really well in that back end of that. And, you know, Jon Flanagan's a good footballer. Is he good enough for a top 4 title challenge in Liverpool? I'm not so sure. I hope he is. Got a lot of affection for Jon Flanagan, not just because he's from Liverpool and he's a Scouser, but because I want a Scouse heart in that team. And I also think anyone who gets a bonk on when they score their goal against Tottenham deserves to just be liked by Liverpool fans. But you can't forget, he had 18 months out. 18 months where he didn't play football. Klopp's not yet to see the best of him. We are quite not particularly blessed with great options at fullback. You know, once you get past Klein, is everybody else really there? I think we're going to have to go out and buy someone, obviously with the sale of Brad Smith to Bournemouth about to be completed. But it's interesting. I hope Flanagan goes. I hope they adhere to the 75% game clause. He gets a lot of Premiership football. He proves he's got his fitness. His injury days are behind him. He's actually a really good Premiership footballer. Comes back to us next summer and he's ready to challenge either at the right back or the left back position. So good luck to him. Let's hope he passes the medical. They've tweeted that he's having it. They haven't tweeted he's passed it yet. The other one, another player going out on loan, Allan, Rodrigues, Souza. Now, this is a strange one because obviously he just can't get a work permit. Our work permit laws are different in this country. He's not played anywhere near the amount of first team games. He's definitely not yet near to the Brazilian team yet. But he's 19. He's moving through the ranks. Like, he was at a Finnish club for his first work permit, and I think it was a Danish club. This one is to Hertha Berlin. Yeah, a Bundesliga side. Bundesliga side who finished 7th in the Bundesliga last year. That is a good move for him. Now, again, I've no idea whether they're going to adhere to the 75% loan game clause that Liverpool have put into our loans. You'd imagine that we have, that they would, because why would we put that in and let other players not have that? Flanagan didn't get his loan to Wigan because they actually refused to say that he would play all 75. And we were like, okay, we'll find a club that will say he will play 75% of the games that he's eligible for. Obviously, they can't force him onto the pitch in a wheelchair if he was injured. But Hertha Berlin, you'd assume, have met that. So a Bundesliga side is going to give Allan, Rodrigues, Souza a lot of game time in the Bundesliga. That is brilliant news for Liverpool because we just want to get this guy football. A, it'll help us get the work permit. And B, we need him to progress. There's no point him not playing at the highest standard he can play at regularly because he's not going to progress as a Liverpool footballer. And he is someone who I hadn't seen these quotes. They're back from March, but I forgot about Allan, to be honest. I think all of us have because we just know we can't. He's not eligible for us. But not only should we be excited about him, because Klopp is excited about him. Listen to this quote. He said, I saw him in training and I thought, oh my God, what can we do to keep this boy here and bring him into the lineup? He's 19 years old, an outstanding talent, a good player with a good attitude. Everybody loves him. He's a nice lad, so that's really, really good. He's a smart player. There's no chance in this moment here because he can't get permission to play here, so we have to send him out on loan. But actually hearing those quotes and saying what Klopp wants about him, if he was that impressed about him, what can we do to bring him into the lineup? We should be impressed. So if this is the next stage of his Liverpool career, he goes to the German team, he goes to Hertha Berlin, he plays a lot of football, he gets the work permit, he impresses over there. That only really bodes well for Allan's future for Liverpool and also for Liverpool's future with promising, talented youngsters. And then finally, Sakho on the flip side from that a little bit. Don't really know what exactly's happened. I don't want to conjecture too much, but then that's kind of what we do on this show anyway. Sakho got sent home from the US tour. Now, we know he's injured, so he went on the tour to be part of the training, but we know he wasn't going to play because of an Achilles injury. But James Pearce of The Echo, who generally is one of the go-to guys that we go to for concrete rumours, concrete stories, not just clickbaity stories. That it's definitely not the equivalent of Bild or Metro. Said that Sakho has been receiving treatment on an Achilles injury, which will rule him out at the start of the Premier League season. However, the Echo understands that concerns had been raised about the 26-year-old's attitude around the club's training camp in California, and that's prompted a swift return to the UK. Sakho was booked onto the same overnight flight to Heathrow as the left-back Brad Smith, who was en route to Bournemouth to undergo a medical. Liverpool confirmed that the former Paris Saint-Germain captain had flown home, but declined to comment on the reasons behind the decision. Now, what it's been saying is there was ill discipline in the club. Now, I don't know if you've been following the LFC TV and the LFC channel as coverage of the tour, but they've been putting out loads of funny videos and quirky videos and behind-the-scenes videos, and one of them was Sakho on a GoPro camera that he'd been given, talking to Klopp whilst Klopp was being interviewed by another camera crew. And it got mentioned there. Klopp brought it up, and at the time I thought it was funny banter, but then you actually look back at the video and it's kind of said through gritted teeth that Sakho was the only player to arrive late for the flight that left from England to go to America. So there you go, he's already turned up late. He's got precedent for it. You know, in September 2014, on the 27th, was when he sent the tweet out, he had to apologise to Liverpool fans because he found out he wasn't going to be starting in the derby and he just left the stadium, which again is not right. You know, ultimately, yeah, show passion that you're gutted to not be starting. Show that you want to be in that team, especially for a derby game. I am all for that. But, you know, I'm sure he'd have been on the bench if Rodgers, who was the manager at the time, hadn't picked to start him, and then he chose not to be there for us. Or if we get an injury in the first couple of minutes to a centre-back, you know, that's not what you're meant to be there. You're meant to basically respect the manager's decision, be part of that team. Now, I don't know what's going on. I can just tell you that all I've seen of Mamadou Sakho this summer since the drug ban was overturned and he was allowed back into the Liverpool fold, but we knew he was injured, is he's been running around with a GoPro doing really funny bantery things. Is there an element of that? Is there an element of he's a bored guy because he can't train properly and he can't play, and then he's been given permission almost by Liverpool to be act like a fool? They've almost actively encouraged it by giving him that GoPro. But what I can see from that angle is Klopp's gone, no, all this media hoopla that surrounds Liverpool Football Club, all the extra appearances we have to do, all these little funny things that we do for Twitter and we do for Instagram, that's not the be-all and end-all. The be-all and end-all is we're a football club, we're a football team, we're meant to win football matches, and his ill-discipline, his dicking about around the ground, around the rest of the team, is not allowing me to do what I need them to do, which is get them back up to fitness, get the tactics into their head, get them playing to a position where I think we can hit the ground running in the Premier League. If that's the case, Klopp's made the right decision. I hope it's not. I hope it's just people reading far too much into it, because I really personally like Mamadou Sakho, and he's one of those players who, if we do need to change a captaincy, his name was on that list. You know, we know he's captain PSG as a young man. He's at times shown a great respect for the city of Liverpool, not just the Liverpool Football Club. You know, he's talked about the Scouse Nation. He does a lot of work with the LFC Charity Foundation and his own charity foundations himself. But here's another story that's added to the Sakho at Liverpool story so far, isn't it? You know, the drug incident will always be there. He didn't play in the Europa League final because of that incident, whether it was right or wrong. You know, he missed a European Championships with France because of that incident, whether it was right or wrong. He had to apologise for walking out on the team ahead of a derby, and now he's been sent home from a training ground early. And you can start to see those things start to snowball. Is he as bad as Balotelli? No, he's never hit that. But, you know, Luis Suarez, things started clicking in. There was a number of things which either led to a player who's hard to control, or a player whose attention was shifting and his focus was shifting to elsewhere, and he was being a little bit disrespectful to the football club. Who knows? It'll probably all come out. I'll probably do in a news show tomorrow where we'll find out, oh no, we had to come over because a specialist knee appointment or Achilles appointment was in Liverpool, and that's why. I hope that's the case, but we've got to report about it because it's what happened. So what do you think? Do you think Sakho was right to be sent home? Do you think we should be worried about Sakho's attention being elsewhere? Do you think Sakho is a guaranteed Liverpool player and should be a Liverpool player, and we should accept that maybe he's just a little bit crazy and he does videos where he pops up behind Skrtel's head and tries to kiss his ears and pisses him off at times? So we're going to put a poll in about that. What do you think about Klopp's decision to send Sakho home? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Are you not that bothered? Or are you concerned? And we will see you tomorrow with more sub-shows, with more build-up shows, with the Chelsea build-up, starting 11 predictions, and obviously those guys over there on Snapchat and their news from America.